What's up, Vinyl Community? Cliff the Vinyl Cheapskate here. Got another Friday Drinking Music. This is probably going to be a short one. This time around, I'm just going to show something I got in the mail. A friend of mine, when I moved into the house, I was like, hey man, I want to get some poster or some old flyers, hang around the house. You have any old flyers that, you know, from shows we went to or anything? It's a buddy of mine from Philly. I lived with him for years, and he's like, yeah, man, if I find them, I'm going to send them to you as a housewarming. And he sent them to me. I got them a few weeks ago. So I got some cool old flyers from Philly shows in the early 2000s. A couple of them I went to, a couple I didn't. They're mostly shows that my buddy Steve, he's in a band called Nightfall. And he, well, let's grab one of their records. Yeah, my buddy Steve, he's in a band called Nightfall. And they're like, he's also in a band called Disestema. But they're like, there's the one. Yeah, he's in a band called Nightfall. And they're like, kind of like Discharge, Disclose, Discharge, Worship. But yeah, cool stuff. And like I said, he sent me a package. And what I'm just going to show what he sent me. But first off, I think I'll start off what we're listening to. And this makes sense for the stuff he sent me. This is a band called Devoid of Faith. They're from the 90s. I think they went into the 2000s a little bit, but they're like hardcore band. Like if you can hear it in the background, they're a hardcore band through and through. Just like hardcore punk, fast riffs, really driving, not really D-beat at all. There's no D-beat or anything, but like cool fast drumming, just like really good stuff. And I feel like this band, they got a little, I don't know, they get kind of forgotten about, but they're so freaking good. And I bought this from Nate, who was in the band. I bought it from his from his Gloom I don't know if it was Gloom Record. Yeah, the Gloom Records Bandcamp page. And I think they might still have more of these if you want to check it out. This is a cool discography. I have some of their records too, but I picked this because one of the records that Steve sent me, Nate from this band and the owner of Gloom Records, he's in another band, and Steve sent one of the things Steve sent me. We'll just show it now. Steve sent me a copy of their new record. And this, I also have a tape of it, but this band is really cool. They're like kind of like a little bit hardcore, but not really. They're like more of a metal band, and they're kind of just like Celtic Frost or like Hellhammer Worship. Super good, like really good guitar work in this one, and cool riffs, well thought out songs, just like really good stuff. And this is brand new from this year. And Steve's band Nightfall played a show with their other band Fright, which I don't own anything by Fright, but I'm gonna look into it because they seem pretty cool too. And that's more like a traditional, I think they're more of like a traditional heavy metal band. But this has cool labels. Not too generic, cool, like all of a sudden, you can't really see the color because I have weird lighting, but it's like a green, it's like an army green color. And he got me the super limited one where it's only like 150 pressed. So super cool, and I really appreciate that. So if Steve watches this, thanks Steve, good dude. He also, in that package, sent me a 7-inch that I don't know where I put it. I just searched that 7-inch out and I don't know where I put it down. That's not the one. Ah, there it is. Alright, sent me this 7-inch End Result, and I don't know who End Result is. And the name of the album is Hellfire, or the EP. 6 songs on here, so I'm guessing it's fast. I haven't listened to this yet, but really cool. And I trust Steve to know. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty crasher, crusty stuff. But Steve, I think Steve has a good finger on what I like. I've known the dude for like almost 2 decades, so he's got to know at least a little bit of what I like, and that looks like it's right on my alley. I'm excited to listen to it. End Result. And I only have one more record to show, and it's one that I found. I follow this thing on Instagram, Econo Jam Records, and sometimes they post up good like hardcore punk stuff. And I was scrolling through, and they had this bad boy up there, and I didn't own it, so I was like, "Fuck yeah, Disclose!" But yeah, I got this Disclose EP. Really good stuff. If you don't know Disclose, it's like I said, it's like the same thing as this Nightfall record. It's like total noisy Japanese discharge worship. And a lot of bands copy this band now, or like this band like definitely started kind of its own genre of just like super noisy. Some people call it spiky jacket punk. But really cool stuff. Very excited to have this, and it's a white version. White version, that's like their little logo. They have a skull instead of the discharge guy. And then this is the other side here. Raw punk. DB raw punk. Disclose. But yeah, super stoked to have this in my collection. I've only got like one other Discharge record. I need to jump on picking up those Discharge. The Discharge. I need to jump on picking up those Disclose. They re-released them a few years back, and I think they're pretty much in steady press at this point. But they're a little pricey. They're like $20 or something. So I think I'm gonna pick them up one of these days. It's just getting around to it and not picking up anything else. I haven't really been doing a lot of record shopping lately, so that's why this is a little bit of a short one. But anyway, that's the records I got. Now let's flip through some of these flyers. And I know at least one of these. This one is a good one for me, because this happened back a long time ago. And I'm guessing this is probably 2001, 2002. Yeah, 2001 or 2002. Because Fighting Dogs is on there. They're like an old Philly band. Painted Black is on there. And I'm 99.9% sure I was at this show. I don't 100% remember. But if this was in Philly when I lived in Philly, and From Ashes Rise were playing, and AOS was playing, I went, because AOS was my roommate Steve, who sent me this package. That was his other band at the time. So I definitely would have gone to this show. And I'm almost 99.9% sure I went to this show. Whether I remember it or not, that's another thing, because back then, I liked to drink at shows, and I don't really remember much. But I do remember seeing From Ashes Rise and Painted Black, and I'm pretty sure I remember this show. But it was a long time ago. That was like 20 years ago. So, long time ago. It's crazy that these shows are things that happened 20 years ago. Nuts. But and he also sent me this one. And if you guys don't know, I do a podcast with a buddy of mine, Russ, and his band is this one right here, Vulcan. and Nightfall played this, and Hellshock and Age. But this was after my Philly times in Philly. I didn't live in Philly at this point. So, probably didn't go to this one, but my friends played it, and I thought it was a sick, pretty rad flyer that he sent me. So this one got framed. So a couple of them got framed. They're hanging in the band room now over by my record player. I took them down to show you guys. But yeah, pretty sick stuff. And most of these, I think most, if not all of these shows, these flyers were from Philly shows. And most of them are old friends of mine, so like Population Zero is a friend of mine, Jay's band. And Interloper is another one of Steve's bands. And this is a more recent show for sure. At the Pharmacy, that was an old, Pharmacy's been around a long time. Back when I used to go to a ton of shows. What do they say here? No one's punk as us. We're the whole Philly scene. The internet says so. Silly flyer. Fun stuff. I got another Nightfall with Plague Dogs, that's another friend of mine's band. Plague Dogs, Nightfall, Plague Dogs.
You gonna give all this up? 8 tracks.
And this one's in Virginia, right? Or Massachusetts. Cool. So I guess they did a mini tour at this point. Yeah, they must have did like a mini tour with Nightfall and Plague Dogs, because I know they're good friends. They've known each other for a long time too. Sick. That's a cool flyer. I'm probably gonna hang. I'm gonna put as many of these in frames as I can. It's just a matter of finding all the dollar store frames I can. Oh, this one's a double-sided deal. And this is my friend Kate Collins did this artwork. She's in that band Drones there. This close, Active Minds. That's a cool show. That Punk's Picnic kickoff show. Pretty cool. This has got to be kind of modern too. But yeah, all the Philly guys. I know a lot of Philly guys from Philly. Like I said, when I was going to shows and I put on some shows and stuff, it was all in Philadelphia. Like I said, I'm a semi-retired punk now. Semi-retired. It's a cool one. Got little Mob 47. I got a couple of these. He sent me a couple of these Mob 47 flyers. It's a cool show. I would have loved to go to that. See Mob 47 would be sick. Some half flyers here. Another Nightfall, Plague Dogs. Cowl? I don't know Cowl. Yeah, another cool one. This is a cool flyer. Cool artwork on there. Pretty sick artwork on there. I like the hand scratched out Saturday. They made the flyers, went through and changed them off Saturday like that. Here's another one. It's a tape release show. And this guy, the guy who's in this band here, Incisor, he was on our podcast last night. He's a really old friend of mine too. He came on. And No Stayers, another set of good buddies of mine. And then there's Drones again, but another one at the Farm. Farms was like a Philly institution. They put on all the punk shows. And I got a bunch of those, a bunch of these cassette tape deals. And this is, I don't know if he meant to send me this. He sent me a photocopy of the inner labels of his new Nightfalls LP. I hope he doesn't need that. I should probably ask him. Disc John, Hard Charger, There's another local Philly gig. It's Nightfall, Population Zero, Cop Problem. And last one, I think, yeah, that's the last one. Another one of these Mom 47. He sent me like 3 of these, but it's cool. I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna put all these in. Eventually, I'm gonna get all these in frames. Psychic Feline, Youthless, Scoot Killer. And there's another last flyer, a little kitty cat sniffing some milk. Pretty sick. But that was the package my buddy Steve sent me. It's always nice getting stuff in the mail. But it was really cool of him because it was a surprise, and I was really excited about him picking that record up. And the reason he picked that record up is because I had the tape, and I played that for him, and he really liked it, and he was excited that he got to play with the guys, and he found me a copy and just thought of me, sent it to me. This is such a great thing to do. Always great sharing music. I have plans to send some people some things. I just need to get some addresses and actually do it. It's hard to get around to it sometimes, but you know, it is really nice to get that stuff, and I think it's a cool thing. The VTLC or the VCLT thing that people do in the vinyl community, I think that's really cool. I got one package so far, and it was really good. It like made my week. So thanks to that, and that was from Jason Skills. I want to say thanks again. Check his channel out. Jason Skills is a cool guy. Anyway, that's it. Friday Drinking Music. Check out some Devoid of Faith if you get a chance. They fucking rule. And anything that these guys really are involved in is really cool. They were involved in that band, The Oath. There's so many. I can't. The Oath is the biggest one, I think, that they were involved in. But check out their stuff. Devoid of Faith is really underrated stuff, in my opinion. But anyway, cheers. Have a good weekend, everybody. Nice talking to y'all. Peace.